I'm Stacy Grinsfelder.
And I'm Daniel Cantor.
And you're listening to True Tales from Old Houses, the minisode. Hi, Daniel.
Hello. Welcome to our final minisode of the season. I can't believe.
Should I admit that I forgot how we start these? Right at the beginning, I was like, do I just say my name? How do we usually start these minisodes?
Yeah, so Stacy always does there's a silent 5-second countdown, but then she just sort of looked at me like,
Deer in headlights.
What do I do? It was so cute. I love it.
149 episodes in, and I can't remember how to start the podcast. I think that's a me problem.
I mean, we all have our problems. I was just informed that I have a real tendency of moving all around this microphone except for right into it. And some of you have noticed. So I am trying to clap, do better. And this is your first taste of me trying very hard not to move my head.
We're talking about a neck brace. You were mentioning maybe we could get you a neck brace or something.
I think it would help, like training wheels. Just take it off when I'm ready. And you decide.
Well, before we launch into today's episode, I do want to say a giant thank you to our minisode sponsors this season, The Window Course from Scott Seidler of the Craftsman blog and Sutherland Wells. Thank you so much.
Yeah, these episodes are so fun for us to do, so we are very, very grateful to our sponsors for letting us keep doing them.
As you said, this is the last minisode, actually the last episode of season 11. We are still going to do 2 ghost story episodes in October, So we definitely need listener stories.
Yes, we would love to record your ghost story with us if possible. So if you have a great story, go to truetalesfromoldhouses.com and submit through the contact form. Stacy will get back to you, schedule a time to record. We'll sit down for, however long it takes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And
not long.
Tell us your story. Tell us your spooky story. We love it. Oh, and also merch.
Oh,
Let's
merch.
not forget merch.
No, you tell the people what we're doing.
Well, so we're working right now with our graphic designer, Anna Dorfman, to figure out exactly how we are going to print our gorgeous new logo on gorgeous new merch. So if you would like anything in particular with our logo on it, let us know, because we'll do shirts, we'll do probably sweatshirts, but we are open to suggestions.
Looking forward to new merch.
That merch is going to drop in October when we're between seasons, so we'll have those 2 ghost story minisodes to keep you updated, but keep an eye out for it. We'll let you know on social media and whatnot. What else?
Yeah, I don't know. We usually don't do announcements during the minisode.
I know. It feels wrong. We've really been stumbling.
But also right. Yes. What have you been doing? We only have this short time to just unload all of these exciting things that we have going on.
We're just planting cliffhangers for next season because
there you go.
These projects will be ongoing in the meantime. So I've been kind of working on 2 pretty large projects. The first, I think I mentioned on last week's episodes, but my front porch, which is sort of continuous with my portico in front of my front door. So I think I'm treating them as one project, but it's a huge amount of paint stripping right now so far.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
That you may or may not know the answer to, but hearing you say portico, I always thought portico was some sort of weird Americanized version of porte-cochere, which is French, but they're not the same thing.
You've already lost me. Yes, the French.
Okay, so you don't know either. All right, that is a question for the audience. I will look forward to hearing the answer to my question, which is, I thought portico was a shortened version of porte-cochere, but I think that a portico and a porte-cochere are 2 different things. Like maybe the porte-cochere is something you can drive under, and a portico is something that you can stand under. I don't know. That was a tangent.
No, I like it because I have no idea what you're talking about. A porte-cochere. Well, like, what would that be? Like a driveway?
Well, not a carport.
No.
But more like something you would drive under to park so that you're beautiful.
With your carriage and stuff.
Yes, with your carriage, and so that you're, as a curly-haired person, you don't lose your hairstyle in the rain. And then
Right.
you would walk into the grand entrance.
Right. I don't know. And also, like, I could be not knowing what a portico is. I thought a portico is the little covering over the front door that is not really a porch you would sit on, but is also not like a awning.
I could see that. This is also something that I could Google, but I would really appreciate if anybody out there, especially maybe there's an architect. I bet Christopher Brandt knows.
Yeah. Chris, stop listening.
Chris, save
We'll
us.
never come back. Um,
All right, let's get back to
Okay,
your
so
project.
yeah, so both of these roof structures have elaborate cornices with corbels. There's columns, there's pilasters, which Brad always calls an engaged column, and then in response, I continue to call it a pilaster. I'm not positive these are different things, but again,
Oh my gosh.
let us
You're in
know.
so much trouble, Daniel.
Oh no. So I don't know, Stacy. I think what I'm coming to is that there is just zero good ways to strip paint. It's just awful no matter what.
I agree. I think it's one of those things where you kind of have to just get yourself in the frame of mind and plug in some good music or a podcast. I know a good one. Or I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm doing tedious work that I'm not enjoying. And then it's a way to pass the time. It's not a way that makes it an easier job. It just you pass the time.
Right. And you can kind of ignore how much your hand is cramping and
Right.
feeling like
Yeah.
it's about to fall off. Yeah, so I've been, oh my gosh, just going between basically heat gun versus Cobra versus silent stripper versus peel away. It's just awful all around, but we're getting there. It's getting better slowly.
Good,
But
good.
I think I've stripped all of the corbels, which was a massive pain. I did all of that with the Cobra, but even my boyfriend was like, just make new ones. I'm like, are you insane? Absolutely not. So I ordered my Abatron, so much Abatron.
Yes, excellent, excellent. The nice thing about doing work like that that's just so horrible is that when you finally get to the good stuff, it feels so much better.
Yeah, I think that's true. I feel like usually projects start off with sort of a burst and then it gets really detailed and then it's done. And this like started off with all of that detail work. It's just slow. And I've been trying to really be zen about just like, this will take all fall. It's possible it will go into the spring and I will have to take a winter hiatus. Like we will just one step at a time get there. So
Right.
that's what's going on the home front. And then the duplex. Oh, I got in trouble this week, Stacy. You're talking to a hardened criminal now.
Okay, wait a minute. What happened?
Well, started some work on the duplex around, I don't know, 8:30 in the morning. And by 11:30, there was a building inspector putting a stop work notice on the front door of the building, which was super fun.
What kind of work?
So the existing floor, about a third of it maybe is like old concrete, and then the rest of it is just dirt, which in Uptown Kingston is basically just sand. So it's just gross all the way around. About 2 years ago, I went down there and came out with fleas on me. Sand
gross.
fleas are a thing. So we've treated for that. That's not a problem anymore. But building has forced air. The air returns are on the furnaces, which are in the basement. So the intake air is basement air.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good for your furnace.
Correct. So you have to change the filters all the time, and it can't be good for the furnaces, and nobody wants that. So anyway, the goal is to create a clean sound space that I can have some stuff stored down there, like basic tools that I like to keep at the building as a landlord. Maybe the tenants can have a little bit of storage space and laundry, which would be obviously a huge improvement for everyone.
This all sounds good. Why did the building inspector not like your work?
That was my question, Stacy. Why do I need I'm not building the house. I'm just putting a slab in the basement. This is not even like a structural component. And they disagreed.
So, did you go to jail?
Nearly. Well, truly, because I wasn't there at the exact moment that the inspector showed up. So the guys called me and were like, oh my God, he was just here. He's so mad. He's screaming. I'm like, oh my God. So I get in the car, drive the literal half a block to, and he's pulling out.
You drove to there.
Well, I did because I was like, I have to get there right now. And so, and he's pulling out. Like I see, they all drive around in the city of Kingston cars. So I see the car pulling away and I'm like, oh gosh. So I just keep driving. I just drive after him thinking we'll stop at a stoplight and I'll be like, can you pull over so we can chat? Which is exactly what I did, except he freaked out as soon as I walked up to his window like, don't ever do that again.
No.
Like, he's so mad. Don't do that to my car. I'm like, it's not even your car, bro. So we got off to a real rocky start. I am pretty sure if that man was not formerly a cop, he aspired to be one, because you could tell he really wanted to slap some cuffs on these wrists, but I escaped.
You escaped. So what is the next step? That sounds very stressful. I mean, we're laughing about it now, but you and I are people pleasers, so I think I would have just about had a heart attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's no fun to be told that you're like doing a bad thing when you didn't think you were doing a bad thing. It was this stressful few days of just like, where do we go from here? What are they really going to require of me?
So what do you have to do now, though?
So I had to apply for the permit, of course, and then schedule like a pre-site inspection. So they want to see the existing condition before you start. Obviously, we had already a little bit started, but it was fine. So they came out for that. Then that inspector like floated that I need an engineer. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Right.
People have quite literally been pouring concrete slabs for thousands of years. Like, we have the technology. We know how to do this. So there was a lot of back and forth, but they ended up dropping that line of garbage and letting me proceed. So we're on the right track now. We have the permit. First inspection is tomorrow. And
Good.
A few days of annoyance, about $300 in permit fees, and we're off to the races.
Wow.
I just didn't know. I was like, seriously?
I wouldn't have thought in that case that you would have needed a permit either. Like if you were pouring a new slab somewhere outside, yes. But I don't know. It's a tricky business, those permits.
It is. And my personality is totally ask for forgiveness later. So in moments like this, it may have crossed my mind that like, do I? But I was like, no. And then I got in trouble. So,
well,
sounds
like you're working your way out of it.
Yeah.
True Tales from Old Houses is supported by The Window Course. The Window Course, created by Scott Seidler of the Craftsman blog, is a step-by-step, do-it-yourself program that will teach you everything you need to know to successfully restore your wood windows. It's self-paced, so you can go as fast or as slow as you need, and there are also several price points to fit your needs and budget.
We're headed into the fall, but there is still plenty of time to get cracking on your windows. And the Window Course has all the information you need all in one place. Scott is offering his students a special deal. If you sign up for the Lifetime Access Package or Training Package, you'll get a free infrared paint remover, which is a $100 value.
And even more, the Window Course is offered with a money-back guarantee, and Scott has a special coupon code for True Tales from Old Houses listeners. For 10% off, visit thewindowcourse.com and use the coupon code TrueTales. True Tales from Old Houses is also supported by Sutherland Wells. All of Sutherland Wells products are handcrafted in Providence, Rhode Island, with the highest quality, sustainably grown tung oil. Tung oil, native to China, has been used for centuries as a durable finish for wood, metal, and stone.
Polyurethane really just sits on the surface of the wood, but tung oil finish penetrates the surface, so it flexes and contracts as conditions change. This makes it the perfect pre-finish or protectant for everything from fine furniture to window sash and sills.
Now, I've tried Millie's and Murdoch's, Slicky Wicky, the furniture polish, and most recently, I had a chance to try Botanical.
Oh.
That's a line that's really good for things like baseboards. And it's Green Guard certified for low chemical emissions because Sutherland Wells uses a proprietary all-botanical citrus solvent. So no petroleum ingredients at all.
I love them even better than before.
But no matter what you're working on, it might be hardwood floors, furniture restoration, cutting board, siding, you name it, Sutherland Wells has the product that you need.
To learn more about the complete product line, visit Sutherland Wells, that's WELLES, SutherlandWells.com. And to save 10% on your first order, use the coupon code TRUETALES.
So front porch, a brush with the law, anything else?
Oh, well, I'm really old, it turns out. I learned that this week because yesterday I was working on my front porch, and I always say that I always have headphones in, like always. And so I'm oblivious to the world around me. And I'm working on the front porch, and my back is facing the sidewalk. And then, like, do you ever have that feeling of like somebody's behind me, but I don't even know why I know? And so I look, and there's these two little boys, like probably, I don't know, 10 years old. I don't know, kids. They're so cute. And they're like, Mister, like little cartoons. And so I pull out my earbuds, and what they really, really, really needed to get my attention for and ask me was, did you build this house?
Oh, that is adorable.
I about fell out my ladder, Stacy.
And your house was built in 18 something?
1865, yeah.
Yeah, you look amazing. Absolutely
Thank you
amazing.
so
Yeah.
much. It's the retinol.
I was going to say the monthly facials are really paying off, but that is
Quarterly.
so cute. Oh, quarterly. Sorry.
Monthly once we hit 40.
Gotcha. It is so cute, though, that they came up to ask you that.
And just like no concept of
No.
time. It's so
No.
adorable.
You could be 20, you could be 150 for all they know.
As could this house, which is just so cute. Like, I love the idea that like walking around this neighborhood in like 1995 would have just been like farmland or something like that.
Right.
It's so cute. It was so cute. And then
Yeah.
I quickly said, no, I'm just fixing it up. And they were
Yeah.
like, oh, why? And it was very adorable. But I walked away like so mad at myself that I didn't say yes.
Yes.
That's how funny would that have been?
That's fun. I'm always thrilled when kids talk to me too, like when they come to the house to, knock on the door on a day that's not Halloween, trick or treating. And I don't know, say they're selling something for school or they just want to tell me something. It almost never happens. When I was a
Yeah.
kid, we all did that. We were just here and there and everywhere. Talk about someone who sounds like they're old. But, the kids they're not home a lot. And so
Right.
I got all excited when you're like, 2 10-year-olds just came up and talked to you. That's amazing.
It used to happen a lot. When I first bought my house, there was a little girl next door, Fiona, who was obsessed with me. And I could not, like, literally, because she lived on the second floor, so she could see right into my backyard. And the second I walked outside, like, Fiona was on me. And I ended up having to sort of set some boundaries with her parents because they started to just leave her with me. Like, I was her babysitter.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I'm not. But she was so sweet. And then she was really upset when she realized that the man who lived with me was my boyfriend. And
Oh,
she was like-
no.
but no, she was super, super upset. And then she didn't talk to me for like 2 months. And then the next time she did, she was very cold and was like, I have a boyfriend too. She was 5. Anyway, Fiona. Oh, I forgot about her. What else? Oh, have you ever, in the time you have spent in Perry, New York, which is where Silver Lake Institute is, have you ever walked by Prehistoric World?
Prehistoric World? No.
Perry is a very small town. So if we're doing like an installation art level kind of attraction, it's going to be something you want to see, I feel. And so I've been on this like multi-year campaign that like I have to go to Prehistoric World. Like, what is going on in there?
Right. It seems like Perry's a little small to support such a big idea, but
Right.
I'm open. Let's
A
hear it.
huge idea in like a normal little storefront. Like this is not an amusement park. And so I must have been complaining about something. And then
You?
we were, okay, Stacy. Yes, me probably complaining about something, and then Brad pulled up in front of Prehistoric World, where I've been dying to go, and we walked in, and sure enough, they were like about to start a tour, but they were still so. I got to finally go to Prehistoric World.
So was it geared towards kids? And when you walked in, like all the moms, there was like a screeching halt and everybody just stared at you and Brad like, what are these two men doing in Prehistoric World?
There were only four other people there. It was one mom and three kids. And I was sure that these were all her kids. But Perry is like also the 80s. So two of the kids turned out they were just there. Like no parents around. I don't know. In fact, I was like, are those twins? And she's like, no, I don't even know who that girl is. It was so funny. Anyway, turns out Prehistoric World is basically a reptile and amphibian like sanctuary. So you walk in and it's just terrariums on terrariums of this incredible array of animals. But luckily, like, because you don't always know how these things are. So turns out hearts of gold. These are like rescue animals from crazy situations. Sometimes they get calls from like the DEC is like, oh, we just busted this guy for something else, but he has 40 turtles in his basement. Like, help. And they go and they save all these. It's crazy.
I do know that New York does have a pretty flexible permit program for reptiles and amphibians. So you probably got to see some really cool stuff. Some states are really, really rigid in what you're allowed to have, permit or no permit. They don't allow them in the state, but New York is pretty flexible when it comes to that. So did they have an axolotl? I got to ask.
Yes.
Oh, I thought they might.
That's the weird one with they're kind of see-through.
Yeah, it's basically a salamander that just doesn't go through the complete metamorphosis period. I know there's a different word from it, but when they're like little tadpole things up to adult, it's like that middle stage. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. And it has to do with, I think, the water, like that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to talk about axolotls. I can tell right now. All right.
Sonar.
Let me walk this back and say that I don't know enough about axolotls to actually explain them, except that my son was really into them for a while. And that's why I have even the vaguest idea of what they are. And they are super cute. Not social creatures, but they're real interesting to see in a tank.
They were real interesting to see. Yeah. I think there were two. Although I think they were two different colors. And then there were a number of bearded dragons.
Oh.
So I was like, I know one that has a Santa Claus costume.
Yes, yes. For anybody who does not remember that story, the same son who was really into reptiles and amphibians also had a pet bearded dragon named Otis for a very long time. Otis the bearded dragon. And one Christmas, he and I sat down and made this bearded dragon a Santa costume. I think I've shared a picture of that on social media before, but yeah, it was super cute. I still have the costume. He was a nice pet.
He was a great lizard, as you said prior.
Yes, R.I.P. Otis.
A great lizard. So I think because of like their status as a rescue or something, they are allowed to have animals that have been confiscated because they are illegal to have in the state.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they had like just from everywhere. It was unbelievable. The woman who runs it, Crystal, obviously extremely passionate about what she's doing. She mentioned a couple times that they only have like a year left on their lease at the existing place. They need a bigger place. Like the tickets were like $12. I'm like, surely there is more I can do. So I go home and on their website, you can sponsor an animal and there's like different levels of sponsorship. So for the low price of $100, I became a silver level sponsor of a green iguana named Spike.
Oh, how cute.
I'll admit that the reason that I chose Spike was because he was the only option on the website.
So do you have to take Spike out to lunch every now and then or to the playground or park or something?
Kind of the opposite.
Okay.
So turns out, so I got an email a few days later. They were so sweet. And they were like, if you did see another animal that you would like to sponsor, we're really sorry there was only the one on the website. Like that was just us not updating it enough. But like if you want it, I'm like, I don't care like at all.
Right.
And by this point, I've become attached to my son's bike. And so
sure,
I get, as part of my sponsorship, a 20-minute meet and greet with Spike, and they're gonna send me like a photo of him and stuff.
Aw, how nice!
I'll put it in my background when we record.
Oh yeah, please do. Like up on the wall, picture of Spike.
I'm obsessed with Spike. His fingers are so long, Stacy.
How
Yeah.
cute.
I don't
Yeah.
even really like reptiles, but I really support what they're doing over at Prehistoric World in
Yeah.
Perry, New York.
Who knew?
So we have porch, we have duplex, we have iguana, we have little children telling me I'm 160 years old. Do you have something that isn't me just talking so much?
Oh, is it my turn?
Okay, in my defense, Stacy told me we always are like, "What do you have to talk about? What do you have to talk about?" And Stacy was like, "Not much on my end." I'm like, "Well, sit back, sister, because I got a stop work order. I got an iguana, but surely there's stuff."
It's true. And I feel like I can't top that. Like anything I'm going to say from this point on is not going to be nearly as interesting as what you've got going on. My only goal for the past 3 weeks is to get everything that belongs to someone else out of my workshop. So finished out of my workshop and delivered to that person so that the only thing left are projects here. And I'm really, really close. By the end of this week, it's all going to be out of here.
Oh, exciting! Like,
Yeah.
what kinds of things?
Well, they're mostly window projects. People will
Okay.
just like, "Oh, can you help me with this?" And I don't do window work for profit. I'm not a window restoration company, but I do take a couple of windows from my senior citizen friend. His name is Bob, and so I'm almost done with his window. I do, one or so, maybe two every summer. It's like it's
That's
just
so
a little
nice.
tiny drop in the bucket, but I can't agree to take on more work than that. So I'm almost done with that. And then I'm helping somebody else learn how to do windows.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. Somehow I just end up saying yes. And it's not that I want to say no. I'm okay. Like when I say yes, I really, really mean it. And I'm more than happy to do the things that I agreed to. But it feels good to get all of that out because I cannot take on anybody else's work right now. I can
Right.
only focus on what I have to do here at the house. So at this point, I will have to say no when I want to say yes. Again, it's not a lizard or anything, but that's what I got going on.
Iguana.
Oh, an iguana. And I'm not going to get a stop work order either. So
All right.
my blood pressure should remain nice and even here.
You're not living on the edge with
Not living on the
people
edge.
in the balance. Yeah.
We're getting ready to do the ghost story episodes. And then we're going to go on a hiatus. So, like, what are you going to do you think, during your hiatus?
Just lounging
Lounge.
around. Next question. I will be basically trying to do these two projects, the porch at my house, the slab at the duplex. When do you think we'll come back for season 12? I
January.
guess is the bigger question. Okay, January. So by January, this will be a fun time capsule later. My porch and portico will be beautiful, and my kitchen will be well underway.
Nice. This is
I
definitely
think.
coming back in January. I've just put a marker on this part of the track, and we're going to check back in and see how that's going.
I think, yeah, that feels more or less accurate. Unless I choose to do the half bathroom first.
Right.
Just
Okay.
get it done. So it could be that.
So noted.
I've only had like 11 and a half years to come up with like a work order.
I would love to make a prediction, but I always feel like that's kind of the kiss of death for projects around here. Whenever I declare this is going to happen, it somehow doesn't happen. So I'm too superstitious, I think, to make my own prediction
Oh,
about
come
what will be done
on.
in January. Well,
Come
I do.
on.
I think the sleeping porch will be done because I'm paying somebody else to do it, right? I mean, that hardly seems fair.
That counts.
Okay, that'll be done.
Dude, managing stuff is hard. Trust me. I get it.
I feel seen. Thank you.
I'm not physically digging out the basement of the duplex, but like, that doesn't mean I'm doing nothing for the effort. It's just a different type of work. So, sleeping porch by end of year.
Yes.
That's a good goal.
And then I would like to have all the windows that I currently have pulled back in place.
And that's to make space for my windows to start coming in, right?
No. My own windows. I was going to say, I'm making space for more work. Yay.
Yay.
The reward for getting your work done is more work.
Yep, that's the old house life we know and love.
So we did it. We have wrapped up season 11. It feels great. This is the first season that we did a minisode and a maxisode, every other week. We put out a lot of episodes.
We did. That's 20 episodes, right?
I think 19 or 20. I can never remember how the numbers fall.
I feel like we somehow had like a weird extra mini. Maybe that was last season. Well, anyway, we've really, and by we I mean Stacy has really done the work this season, as well as past seasons, but like double the work this season.
Well, let me tell you make things fun, Daniel. I always enjoy doing this show with you, so it's worth it. All that extra work is worth it. And to all of our listeners, thanks to you also for making this so fun, for all the feedback you've given us, the ratings and reviews, your listens, your laughter. It's just been a great time.
All that merch you're about to buy.
Right. So we will have that merch available for you next month, 2 ghost story episodes. I'm ending the show like we're leaving forever. We're leaving the country.
I know. It's like 4 weeks, like 3 weeks.
I get attached.
I know. We just love you guys so much.
We do. Thank you for listening to True Tales from Old Houses. Until next time.
See you in October.